Welcome to episode number 45 of the Unknown Games podcast. Welcome everyone. Welcome back. It is a great hot summer day as always, even though it's night right here. It's just been hot. It's been so hot, but we're glad to be back. And by we, I mean, last week we had the great and only G guest co-hosting in the house. This week though, we got our favorite only one co-host, Alex. What's up?
Hey, what's up? I'm Alex.
Coming in, bringing that what's up, Alex. You know, G must have been listening to the show because he came in exactly the same enthusiasm level.
That's what he said. That's funny.
He was like, "Sup, I'm Jadon." I was like, "Dude, can you at least bring some more hype?" And he was like, "I'm Jadon." I'm like, "Okay,
no.
Okay. Well, I see who you take after. Obviously not me."
Yeah.
But this is the Unknown Games podcast where we talk about Japanese video games, games in general, our lives here in Japan, and just a whole bunch of just fun things. You know, we kind of try to keep it light for you. And we know we've had a couple long shows, so this time, and some serious ones, we're going to keep it short, sweet, and we're going to give you that Japanese side because Alex just finished moving. That's the game he's been playing, the game of life.
Yeah, I've been off the grid for a little bit, getting my stuff packed and then unpacked. So I'm just going to say I don't really want to move again.
Like ever? In life? Ever?
Well, no, yeah.
So,
or do you want to get into that or what? Like, what's the agenda for today?
We're going to get into that, and then we've got a couple bits of news. Nothing too big, but, you know, we got to talk about a little bit of Apex Season 6, which was announced. I know you haven't gotten around to looking at it, but...
I literally haven't been on the internet. Yeah,
but I've got the news for you on that, and then of course, like a couple streamers coming back in town. You know, Dr. Disrespect being on YouTube, and then Ninja, Big Bro Ninja. I'm calling him Big Bro Ninja just because I'm Ninja Tricks. I'm not.
No, you gotta call him like Ninja Anarchy or something.
Ninja Anarchy. He's back on Twitch. So two big streamers are back, and then of course today actually Yoshinori Ono, the kind of lead of for Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 kind of producer, and more recently kind of transitioned to the esports side of Capcom, has just now left Capcom. So after some pretty big announcements on Street Fighter 5 from last week, but yeah, we're just gonna talk about that briefly. But for real, man, how is moving? How's the new location? What was the process like? I mean, a lot of us don't move. I mean, I don't know how many times people move in life. You move to college, you move to like your little like apartment, and then you get like a starter home, I guess, when you get married, and then
and then maybe you get like another home or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So what? This is technically
is the
first move?
This is the first time that I've moved in Japan, technically. So I've moved to Japan, and then I moved back home, and then I moved from home back to Japan, and I was in... Oh, no, this is the second time I moved, actually. So I moved to like a called a 1R in Japan. I think we talked about room sizes in Japan, right? Previously.
Maybe, yeah, I think we did.
So I used to live in a 1R, which just means like one room. Like not even a kitchen, actually. Oh. Like, so I had like a... what they called like a burner.
Yeah, it's like you walk in. You walk in, and like literally your doorway is next to your kitchen sink / kitchen kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a 1R, it's like you open your door and you have like the shortest hallway known to man is like 1.5 meters maybe, and then basically in the wall is like your burner. I had a single burner, and then to the right of that was the bathroom and the shower. It's called a unit bath in Japan, where it's just like the toilet and then like a very, very tiny bath, and then past that is the room, right? So I used to live in a 1R, and I lived in there for 2 years, and then after that, I decided to not renew my housing contract, and I moved into my last place now, and I was there for a very long time, actually. Most of the time, like several years, I've been there for a very, very, very long time, and then I decided. So I lived with my girlfriend, and after a while, we kind of outgrew the space. We were both there for quite some time, and we just amassed a lot of stuff, throughout the years. Like not just, I'm not saying just like anime figures or anything, but just, just stuff. So we figured it was actually just a really good time to to move. Maybe not because of COVID, but like we planned to move before COVID was a thing.
Right, because you guys moved. I mean, technically now it's like it's not heyday of COVID, but it's still.
Yeah, it's like COVID. Not a really good time to move, but it's an okay time to move, I guess. Anyway, so we moved. So the process for me, this is the very first time that I had like a serious move, because from my first apartment to my last one, I had no furniture. Basically, I had like a bed.
You had the perfect,
like a mattress, really.
The perfect move, where you don't have to worry about really moving anything, just yourself.
Yeah, because it was a 1R. I didn't have any furniture. I had like a very small TV stand, a kotatsu, like a Japanese heating table, and a mattress, and that was it. And a fridge and a washer, and everything else was just like I put in a couple boxes, and actually moved most of the stuff myself.
Okay.
So I kind of just like toted, my stuff along and hired some random.
Please tell me you hired some random people off the street.
Yeah, this random dude. Yeah, really, yeah. I found this like listing on the internet. It's a guy who's like, I'll help you move, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I paid him like $100, and then he kind of just drove my appliances. So really easy to move that time. But this time we have just stuff. We had so much stuff, so I had to go through the process of
finding
using a Japanese moving company,
which I've heard has been like, and I've had a couple of friends have to go through that. I've moved, but I didn't have to do similar to your first move. But like I've heard that process, like they will try to charge you a crap ton of money. It's like what, $500-$600, but if you haggle them down, it can be $200 to $300 less sometimes.
Right. So depending on how much stuff you're moving, if you're moving from 1R to another 1R, I think it's about $1,000 to be honest. So we had not a 1R, we had a bit of a bigger place, and we were moving a ton of stuff actually. So our original quote. I'll ballpark it, but like our original quote was about 2,000 USD.
Jeez Louise, that's on top of everything you had to pay just to get the new place, because there's the key fee that they do here in Japan, which is what is that? It's like the next month's rent plus insurance.
Yeah, it's usually about 2 months worth of your rent, and that you pay up front essentially.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's obviously not our real estate agent doesn't cover the cost of our moving, right? So it's $2,000 was our original quote, and then I haggled them down. I would say maybe like 30% cheaper. That's
not bad considering all things.
It was still pretty pricey, but I did manage to get them down. I had to cut a couple corners. Like we use he's like, okay, fine, but we'll send less people and we'll use less trucks, and you got to pack all this stuff yourself. Because if you have a lot of money, they'll have this thing where they'll like come and they'll be like, oh, we'll pack all your stuff for you, and then we'll unpack it for you.
What? That's like the dream, the ideal one. Like you moved, but you didn't really feel like you were moving. Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So they have a service like that, and I would love that, obviously. So, but try to save a little money. So what happened was, and I'm going to say, if you move, well, I think you're fine, maybe, but for anyone who has a lot of stuff, you want to pack ahead of time. So I kind of put it off last minute. I think this personally, but I didn't sleep like the last night that I had in that apartment. I didn't sleep. I was packing all night. And then the movers came in the morning, and then I stayed behind as they packed all the stuff up. I did the final checks, and I took the train to the new location. I was like, oh my God.
I would be wiped. Honestly, like it's hard enough to leave to go to the US for like just a normal trip back home for a month or a couple weeks or whatever. Like packing a suitcase luggage is annoying for a lot of people. I mean, I guess there's some people who are okay with it, but that's annoying in and of itself, even when you wait till the last minute. You know what I mean? I can't imagine just trying to put the finishing touches on.
Literally.
Putting the rest of your house, your apartment into a bag or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You really underestimate it. Like take a look in the room that you're in right now. Like look around your room and then just say to yourself, I have to pack all of this stuff. There has to be nothing left.
Like when so for the longest time, the room I'm recording in right now had nothing in it. I had like a couple of shelves, basically like a couple boxes, and some figures, and then some things on the wall. That was it. But when I got this desk and the bed, I was like, oh my goodness, it feels like a room, but I'm like, what am I gonna like? if I move, like when I move, what am I going to do? And I'm honestly like, while this desk is nice, if I get another place, I want it to be a larger desk to have more space, you know.
That's exactly what I did. Yeah. I was like excited to buy a bigger desk, and that is precisely what I have done.
Yeah.
I've doubled my desk space from my last
triple monitor setup now, probably, or
it's just two. It's just two still, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like you think about that, and I'm just like, you know what? Everything that I have now has to go. I don't care how I have to do it. Like even, I mean, I'll keep like my monitors, maybe the PC setup and everything. I don't know if I'll honestly keep all of my figures, just the necessary ones that I really like, and that's this Naruto and Sasuke that I've had for 8 years now. I'll probably keep them, and maybe two other, you know, smaller figures or something. But it's like at one point you stop buying stuff just because you realize I can't take it with me. I mean, I can, but it's gonna be annoying.
Yeah.
It's gonna be annoying.
So I had a bunch of most of my figures actually are Nendroids. And I actually kept all the boxes from my Nendroids.
Nice.
So when I moved, I kind of just like put them back in the boxes. They're still in like. I haven't really unpacked it all, but
how many?
So there's a lot of things. So I go ahead.
How many Nendroids do you have? I mean, they're small.
Oh, I have like. I personally have. I want to say like 8, maybe. My girlfriend has 4.
Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Like with the box space, you can. I mean, they'll stack all inside one kind of medium-sized box, I guess, or small box or something. Yeah. Okay, cool. Continue.
But yeah, so there's a lot of things that you don't like really think about when you're moving. At least for me, you have to like turn off your utilities at your current place, right? And then you have to like call ahead of time to set up your new utilities at your new place. So you have to know your address. You got to forward your mail. And then since we are foreign, well, even if you're not a foreigner, you have to like change your address, but you have to do that within 2 weeks.
Okay. Oh wait, you know what? How does that? Oh my goodness! I just realized. I think for your visa, not your visa, but for like your alien residential card, whatever. Like, I think that only updates after you renew your visa and stuff, right? Okay, so you don't have to worry about that.
When they're literally, they're just gonna write in pen on the back of the card. If you look at your card right now,
there's a little spot.
Your residence card, there's 4 lines, 5 lines or something for address changes, and that's what that's for. So.
Okay.
There's a couple of things that, especially if you're a foreigner, if you're planning on moving to Japan, or you already do live in Japan but haven't ever moved before, and you're not quite sure how it works, like there's a thing that you have to get called a tenshutsu todoke from your old or your current place or whatever, right?
Okay.
That basically means you're moving out. It's like a moving out notice, basically. And then when you move into your new city, you got to go to City Hall or the ward office if you're in Tokyo or something. And you have to like register your new address, and you have to present that thing that called the tenshutsu todoke.
Okay.
So if you're moving within the same city, it's not a problem. You just change your address. It's really easy peasy. You just go to City Hall or whatever.
That's pretty much what I had to do. So I don't even know about this form until now.
But if you're moving from a different city, you have to, technically you should do it before you move. You have to go to your City Hall, tell them you're moving out, get this like form printed of your old address and your new address. And then within 2 weeks, you got to go to your new City Hall and present it, change your address. So if you're living, let's say in the same region, like let's say Kanto or like the Kinki region, like it is inconvenient to go to another city, but it's doable. You kind of just ride the train for an hour or 2 hours or something, right?
Right.
But God forbid, if you're moving from island to island and you forgot to get like that certificate before you left,
have to go back to the
You got to go back.
You know, it's similar to like when you're changing jobs here. They have you need to have the previous. What is it? It's like Shitsu something Hoken or unemployment.
Oh, the unemployment card. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
God, I don't even know where it is right now, but if you...
Oh, I lost mine. I lost mine, but then I found it recently.
I hope it is in my closet and where I keep some documents. But anyways, if you do not have that card, you literally have to call back to your place of employment, your previous place, and be like, I need to get this.
I know.
Or visit. I don't care. It's really dumb. It is super dumb. It's a number, actually. It's not even a card. It's a number.
Yeah, it's a number. I know. I found, like I said, I lost it, but since I was moving, actually, I had found it very, very recently. Yeah, because I was going through my stuff. Just to piggyback off with that kind of thing is if you are changing or renewing your visa rather, they don't always ask for this, but sometimes they do, and they have asked it for me like twice now.
Okay.
When you change jobs, if you're changing jobs. And if you change jobs and then you renew your visa, they want like a letter or something from your previous employer.
Okay.
And I didn't know that. So I had changed jobs like a couple years ago. And then I renewed my visa and they're like, oh, you got to get this thing from your old employer. And I was like, no, are you kidding me? So I had to
talk to them again.
I had to do like, I had to do the awkward phone call where I called my old employer and I was like, hey, you know, I used to work for you, but I quit and I need this thing. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. And they mailed it to me.
I actually did. I had to do that as well, but I did it not for my visa, but I think for just where I transitioned to working. It was another form that they needed. And I was just like, I'm going to email. And it's so awkward because like my old place of employment moved location. So I had to like find someone who I previously knew because they didn't even have a website. So the website was out of date. I had to hunt them down and just be like, send an email. And then I sent it to them. And like my previous company, like half the staff quit, like literally in one little month, like half the people were gone. So like when I message this random new name is like, hi, who are you again? I'm like, I used to work there. Can I get this?
Yeah. The weird, awkward, I used to work for you kind of thing.
Yeah. So moving is a thing. Did you have to have a guarantor? I know like in Japan for a lot of foreigners, when we get an apartment or some sort of, mainly apartments or, you know, they want to make sure that we can either pay for it or if anything happens that they'll still get their rent, yada, yada, yada. We don't skip out. Something like that. Did you have to get a guarantor
this time around I did not,
okay.
But I had to get it for my last two apartments. It's a thing for foreigners especially because, you know, unfortunately, you know, discrimination is still a thing in Japan. It's a lot of people will say that it's not a thing because they don't see it or not aware of it. But when you are a foreigner, you become very aware of it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to move into an apartment. But this time, no, we didn't have to get a guarantor, which is great. Yeah,
that's good. Like for my current apartment, I needed a guarantor, and I had a Japanese person I used to work with, a coworker, who was like my supervisor, sign off, and it was okay-ish, but they still needed kind of more secure level. So I ended up having to get like, there's companies that become your guarantors. So I have to.
Yeah, but that's just like I feel I mix feelings about that because these companies are basically like profiting off like
I pay like $100
a system, a system that prevents foreigners from just renting normally. You know what I mean?
It's like, pretty whack because like I pay $100 every 6 months, I believe.
I used to pay $100 every year. So you're getting a bad deal.
Yeah, I don't know if it's every year or 2 years. I have to look because like last month I realized there's an extra $100 on my rent, and I'm like, that's probably that. It
might be home insurance actually. You have home insurance, right? It might be your home insurance.
Oh no, it's because I think I moved here. Oh, okay, never mind. It was a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved here in the summer. That's right, because it was balls hot. And
are you sure? Are you sure it's your guarantor? Are you sure it's not home insurance?
I don't even know if I have
because $100 a year or $200 a year just sounds like basic home insurance to me.
It could be the home insurance, then. You know, I'll check into it because I do remember I definitely moved in here around this time.
Yeah, and you got your bill.
And recently, I got my bill, and I was like, okay, it's $100 more, and there's only one payment I have. It's either the guarantee or, like you said, it might be the insurance on that. So moving in Japan, if you're going to do it, just give yourself time, like anytime you move, but expect that you're going to need a lot of cash up front.
Oh my God, yeah, you need so much money, like because all the fees that are just going into like moving. It honestly you're looking at a basic apartment, like not like a little better than a 1R, let's say. I would expect anywhere to pay between 4,000 to let's say 6,000 USD just to get yourself moved, and that does not include the moving company if you choose to use one.
Yep, that's true. I had a bunch of people help me the last time. Like I said, I didn't have a lot, but some of my coworkers and then another friend, I moved like 10 minutes down the road. So it's not exactly that far. You know, I took a car. And you can get boxes from your local supermarket.
They'll just give it to you or whatever.
Just go help. Just do that. It was actually kind of interesting because I didn't know about that. And one of my previous students I had taught, she was just coming out and she started talking to me, and I was like, "Oh, hi, how's it going? You know, I'm moving." She's like, "Oh, did you know you can get these boxes here?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." She's like, "Hey, look, I can help you get some boxes and you can take them back to your place, whatever." I was like, "Oh, thanks." And now she works at the city hall. So sometimes I'll just run into her and she's like, "Hi, how's it going?" I'm like, "Thanks for helping me move until at least get those boxes."
Oh yeah.
Pay it forward. That's what you do teaching. When you teach, you get back somehow, I guess, in a good way. But yeah. So that's moving, and I'm glad that you're at least settled in.
Kind of. I haven't unpacked yet. My room is still kind of messy, but yeah.
I was gonna ask. So my apartment it runs relatively cool / humid for all the year, right? So even in summer, it's never really hot in here. Do you have like one of those apartments? My previous one, the sun rose like in the window and it was just burning up in the daytime. Is that similar for you, or you got like a cool apartment?
It can get pretty hot, especially before we still don't really have curtains. So I need to buy them still. But like I remember the second day or the first day, like the first morning, I woke up and I went to one of the rooms and the sunlight had just been hitting the floor like all morning.
Oh gosh.
And I stepped, it was like a friggin' oven, man. It was so hot. I was like, this is unnaturally hot. Like, how is this remotely possible? It's so hot.
When it does that, I remember the first time when I moved into an apartment here in Japan and they didn't have any curtains, and I was just like, I remember I didn't know what was going to happen the next morning. I was just sleeping on the floor on this little futon, and the next morning I was like, God, why is it so hot? What is burning? Just burning. And like literally I had my computer on the floor, my laptop at the time. I tried to boot it up and it was just like dead. I don't know what happened that day, but it was dead. And I was
just like nuked it. It was so hot. It
nuked it because it was so hot, I think. But yeah, Japan and thin walls / on insulation or however that goes. It's a weird thing. I going back home, honestly, that's one of the things I love the most is just central air. Just knowing that if it's hot, I can be cool on the inside, and if it's cool, like cold outside, I can be hot, like, or warm or whatever. You know, it's one of those things. But it's part of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been just like busy. I actually didn't tell you this, but I got an air conditioner recently. Like I had to buy one because it was just so hot, right? And then the guy came and like set it up for me. And he installed it, and he's like, "It's all good. You're good." And then he left. And then I think like 20 minutes or 30 minutes after the guy had left, my air conditioner, my new one, just started leaking a crap load of water. Like
what?
Water, like on the
inside,
like just on the inside, like in my room. So that basically means is that it wasn't draining properly, right?
So you have to.
So there's supposed to be like a hose that just like that's your not exhaust, what's it called? Like your outtake hose, I guess, just like where the water runs.
Right.
That's supposed to go outside, so your room doesn't get flooded. That wasn't working. So 30 minutes after the guy had left, my wall and my floor was like
dripping.
Really dripping, like not even like, oh, it's leaking. It's like, oh, this is a serious friggin' problem. Like it was a lot of water. It was a lot of water.
No.
So I had to like turn off the air conditioner. Obviously, I had to like clean it up.
Call this guy back.
I had to call the guy and be like, hey, so the thing you just installed, it's like leaking a lot of water. And he's like, oh, well, I'm at like the next customers. Can you like wait? I'm like, okay, fine. Like when are you gonna be done? He's like, oh, probably like 7:30 or something.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, sure, I'll wait. I don't have a choice. I'm not going to be like, forget it. So he did come back in that evening, and he took the unit off the wall, and then like water came out of it, and he's just like, yeah, that's a problem.
But problem he can fix.
Yeah, he was here for like a while, like trying to figure out what was wrong with it, and eventually he calls me, and he's like, so. I've been running the air conditioner for about 30 minutes now, and I can't find a problem with it. There's no leak.
What?
And he's like, I looked at the unit. He's like, I didn't do anything. He's like, I didn't do anything.
I didn't mess it up. Like it's it's good now.
Yeah.
It should be good.
Well, he didn't he took it off the wall, and then he's like, so yeah, for sure. Obviously it was leaking because water came out of it. But to be honest, I didn't do anything. But it seems fine now. And I was like, well, what?
It's like in the future, is this like guaranteed in the future? It's going to always be fine? It sounds like it's like, it's good now. Something could happen in the future. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're paid to know this.
Apparently, like the hose that is going to the outside was like, he said they were like stuck together. There should be two hoses. Like they were stuck together for some reason. And like what he's guessing is what happened is the water wasn't able to drain from the hose and then just like reversed and backed up and went through the unit.
Okay.
That's what he's guessing has happened. But anyway, so that was like last week. It's just been I've been so busy.
It's like a car. One thing after the next. Like one problem fixes and then the next one occurs, kind of thing. Hopefully it doesn't keep happening. Just weird stuff, hopefully by the end of this week. And we're coming up on a set of holidays. I know that it's a time you can at least, I think it's maybe 3 or 4 day weekend ish. You can use that to,
depending on your company.
You can use that to finish moving it, or hopefully you can have everything kind of for the most part done, so you don't have to. You can at least enjoy it a little bit.
Remember how I told you that you have to get the Tenshutsu Toroke before you move?
Oh, don't
out?
tell me you have to go back to your home.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I gotta go back. So I have 2 days off this week. So one of those days is going to be going back to get it, and the day after that is going to be going to the city hall to change my address.
Hey, at least the city hall that you're going to isn't too far. The newer one,
not too
far. I think it's relatively close. So it's a nice little. Gosh, it's hot though. Just make sure you're.
Oh my god!
Make sure you're
so hot.
Drinking some water.
It's so hot. Yeah.
I took like a. What did I do yesterday? I took like an hour-long walk. I went in the evening, but I was just like, it felt really good, and I just explored some places that I hadn't been to in the neighborhood. But I was just like, man, it's hot outside. I mean, it's not too hot, but it's hot, and I probably shouldn't be taking these walks at my age anymore. Like, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm in my early 30s. I could just pass out over here thinking I'm like, I don't need no water. I'm okay. No.
I was talking to my girlfriend today because we were out. I had some more moving stuff to do, but I was like, why is it so hot in this country? I was like, why do we live here? What are we doing? Like,
I mean, you're from Canada, so I don't know how much it feels even hotter to you, even though you're used to it now.
No, it's so hot this week. I was like, my shirt was just like wet from like sweat. It's so uncomfortable. And because of COVID, everyone has to wear a mask, right? Or you should be wearing a mask.
I want to shave.
At least.
I need to shave because my mustache is causing like there to be like sweat buildup in the mask.
Oh my god!
It's really it's annoying. It's annoying.
So when I wear like the mask and it's hot, I get this like neck sweat rash or something.
What? Why on your neck?
Yeah, because like when there's no people around, like it's kind of, especially now, I live in a little more open area. I just pull my mask down if there's no one around me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then like I get like a sweat rash on my neck, and it's just so gross looking and so uncomfortable. It's like, it's so bad.
It's honestly like a mess. I think it's around 95, 96 degrees Fahrenheit. Maybe it's like somewhere around there. But the week before, like when it just went from rainy season being like cool and rainy and to just death, just walk outside and you're sweating in two like less than a minute. And it got to the point where I literally like, now I'm wearing an undershirt again, like an undershirt and then a shirt over that. And a lot of people give, people from the South some flack because it's apparently a southern thing, wearing 2 shirts in the summer. It sounds crazy, right?
That sounds like a dumb idea.
It sounds crazy, right? But it's for exactly that reason of making sure that, okay, the undershirt is there to soak up the sweat, essentially. Like you're protecting your other shirt, your shirt that you want to wear often, so it doesn't get smelly or sweaty or whatever as much.
Or you wear like a white shirt and you have like the gradual yellowing from your from friggin' salt of your body.
Yep. So that's the whole point. If you want to try it, anyone who's listening, let us know how it goes. Let us know how it goes. It does work, but it does take a little while to get used to. You'll feel kind of like, why am I wearing 2 shirts? I should be wearing less, not more. It's not winter. So anyways, we should probably move on, and you can fill us in a little bit more, Alex, next week. Hopefully, once you got that move in. I think we're setting up for that VTuber episode, my friend. It's
happening. We should do that for real. Let's do that.
So we had Poop, aka Jidan, aka G, on the show last week. Who's a huge.
Is that his real name?
His real name is Jidan. As far as I know,
like the main character from FF9. Like, because in Japanese it's Jitan, right? It's Sedain in English.
Yeah.
It's almost.
Yeah, that's his real name, unless he lied, and I just don't know it. But I was like, what's your name?
Maybe, yeah.
And then hopefully, I think this week or next week, I'll be recording with another friend of the show. Who's also a pretty big VTuber person. So we can finally get that round table as I just sit outside and be like, okay,
Are you
guys,
serious? This is like 4 people? It sounds like a wild time.
It's going to be a wild time. That's why I'm going to be silent for most of it. So I'll be like, you guys talk what you need to talk, get the message across, and I'll edit that afterwards. My track's gone. But yeah, so moving on into the news really quick. As everyone knows, everyone's favorite game, Fall Guys, is still falling into the hearts of many people. Everyone's loving that game, man. I honestly, so just stat wise, and I'm looking on Steam right now, and top games by current player count. There we go. Fall Guys is actually right below Grand Theft Auto 5 at 75,832 current players, but it peaked today, and this is today here in Japan, I guess Monday the 10th, at 115,000. That's
it's like that's a lot.
Yeah. The only things above that are player unknowns, PUBG, Dota 2, and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Like that's pretty huge. That this little game that I think had the biggest random out of nowhere PR hype cycle. We'd been talking to G for a while. He's been like, yo, man, you can get on that Fall Guys. And we're like, I guess it looks fun. It looks cool. And yeah, they're having a wonderful success. And I actually I didn't convince a friend to play it. He has a 2-year-old, and I was like, hey, I bet your 2-year-old would really love watching or fake playing this game. You hand him the second controller.
Fake playing.
Yeah, just hand him the second controller.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I was like, yeah, this she would love this. And it turns out I started playing with another friend co-op, well, in the same party, I guess. And he was watching, and he's like, next day, I bought that Fall Guys, man. It's amazing. And he's been playing like for 2-3 hours. And, G from last week, he's on 10 hours. Stream-wise, it's like at 130,000 people over here in Japan just watching it, or on Twitch. It's huge. And I know you saw me play it a little bit. A little bit, yeah. My thoughts are I enjoy it. It definitely is a lot of fun, specifically with friends, or if you're kind of streaming it. It's amazing, just because of some of the wacky moments that can happen. But personally, like just playing by myself, it's hard to jump in because it is it's just not fun by myself playing it. That's my take.
I think I know what you mean for sure. I haven't played it yet, but I will get around to it. It is a game that especially because it's free on Plus. Yeah. I do have a Plus account. It seems, here's the thing, is like, it seems really fun. I just don't know how the game will last. I don't know if it has legs, so I'm curious to see how they're going to support it long run, right? To keep people interested.
Right. I was talking to G about that too. I was like, G, so what do you think? Like, how are they gonna keep it going? He's like, add guns? I'm like, no. How do you really like water guns? Like, how do you really think they're going to? I mean, obviously adding more mini games is one thing, but the core base mechanic, the core game flow, it's going to be interesting to see how they either tweak that or what they do, because the game has it has a battle pass, and you can earn more costumes and emotes and all these different fun little things. But it is just fun little things. I couldn't help but thinking, like, would I rather be earning something in my Apex battle pass pack or Fall Guys, because the match times, if you play it properly or if you play to the end, it's going to be maybe 10 to 15 minutes of your time invested in it. So definitely curious to see where they go with that game. And I'll be popping in and playing it every once in a while. It's not going to be anything I'm going to be like, hey guys, we're going to stream this again tonight. But for Just Chat, I think Just Chat, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. But speaking of Apex, season 6 is on the way. I think it launches on August 18th, which is next week, a little bit, week after next. I don't know. It's really soon. And season 6 is going to be coming with a new character, Rampart. If you've seen the trailer, she has her little gun. I think I said little gun. That's a big gun. It's a very big gun.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a very big gun. I think it's called like Shelly, something. I don't know. But, of course, we're going to have new battle pass, new weapons, new skins, whatever, all that good stuff. I don't think they've said anything about a new map yet, but they have mentioned crafting, because this character does come with a crafting mechanic, which is
so I saw that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, but so Rampart is she has the ability to craft, and only Rampart can craft. Anyone else can craft, or is that not the case?
So right now it's not really too clear. It seems like this could either be a universal mechanic, so maybe either you can get materials for her to craft, or you can do some basic crafting yourself. But let's just hope that it's just Rampart. She's just Torbjorn. She's gonna do it herself.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I wanted to know like how the crafting works, because I was like, it would be nuts if like any character can craft. But then I had the impression that it was a Rampart ability. So
I feel like it's gonna be just her being able to craft, but everyone can use what's happening. In the trailer, there's actually a point where there's kind of a kind of shield that's up, like an electrical kind of shield or energy shield. That Lifeline is shooting from behind, and I can assume that maybe she builds that, and then people can use it, or maybe there's even a turret that she can build. I mean, she's the engineer class type of character, but she's got a lot of personality. I love the way she blows up the bubble gum and it just pops. And a lot of people, I don't know if this is just something I'm picking up, but her teeth aren't like, she's got a gap in her two front teeth.
Okay.
And like I have a gap in my teeth too, but I just like saw it and I was like, oh my goodness, she doesn't have perfect teeth. I'm so happy. I don't know why I'm so happy, but I feel like because I don't have perfect teeth and there's a character that doesn't have it as well. It's just like representing.
Yeah.
Us people. Us people with non-perfect teeth. So that's happening. But also, I know that Alex, you had talked about the Vault last season for season 5.
Is that in season 6?
Yes, season 6 confirmed to have the Vault. Yes.
No. Is it a gold weapon or is it a normal weapon?
They haven't said. It's just
is there footage of it or like?
Not that I've seen as of now, but I'm assuming this week. After the podcast goes up or during this week sometime before the season goes out. Yeah, we're going to get some footage of it.
So the Volt was like my main SMG for the longest time in Titanfall 2. Like I think I still have the most SMG kills with the Volt. It's so comically accurate. It's a laser beam. Well, it shoots energy bullets, right?
Right.
In Titanfall 2, you can hip fire the Volt and it'll always be on point. Like it's so accurate. They nerfed it actually after a while because it was just like it was too good on PC. Yeah.
So it's still going to be shooting energy on season 6 of Apex, but I'm not sure how it's going to, if it's still going to shoot that laser like you wanted to. And I'm not actually sure if they're going to keep all of the energy weapons, because now we've got the Havoc. Was it Havoc, L-Star, plus the Volt, and then
the Devotion.
Depends on if they want to keep the L-Star. I heard someone say maybe they're going to get rid of the L-Star. I want that L-Star. I don't use the L-Star anymore. I champion that gun. I love the L-Star. That's my gun. But I'm okay with it going for now.
I used to really hate the L-Star when it was a gold weapon because it just didn't seem like it was worth it. But now that it's a normal weapon, I think the L-Star certainly has its place now.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Havoc though? Havoc is a pretty savage weapon.
Havoc is Havoc after the season
the wind up
5 nerf. So the recent thing that they did was, of course, was they
added kick.
They added way more kick. Way more kick. Like if you can rock it, you go ahead, try it. I mean, up close and kind of, from hip firing, I think it's still fine, but it's definitely not going to do those laser kills that it was doing before. I used to be a beast. Even, it's like I didn't use it as much up until season 5, and then season 5, I was like, oh, this gun is OP. Like, this is, all right, let me just hit them laser beams on people, and it's amazing, But now it's like the G7, just not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you can control the kick on the Havoc, it's a very good weapon. It has extremely high rate of fire. They also like nerfed the magazine size, right?
Yes,
but no, I just feel like I don't know where the Volt is gonna come into place, like, because it's an SMG in Titanfall. Is it still gonna be an SMG in?
So far, I guess that we know, yeah, it's still an SMG.
I guess there's no SMG energy weapon, right? Because the Devotion's a light machine gun. The Elstar is a assault rifle.
Assault rifle, right. Yeah.
And the Havoc is also an assault rifle?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's no SMG weapon, which is, I think, what the Volt is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. And this is actually the first SMG to come into the Apex, like, period, after all, all the other weapons have been either sniper.
The Prowler.
Oh, yeah, but sorry, I meant additional. There we go, additional weapon. Everything else has been either sniper or assault rifle, whatever. It's been something else.
The Prowler was new. Prowler was season 2.
So, wait, really? Prowler was season 2?
Yeah.
It wasn't in season 1?
No.
Holy crap! You mean we've been having the Prowler with us for so long? I've just adopted it as being OG. I guess it's close enough to OG.
Yeah.
Well, other OGs that are back, aka Big Brother Ninja Aniki.
Sure. Yeah.
Ninja Aniki.
Okay. Aniki. Yeah.
Aniki is back on Twitch. I actually tuned into one of his streams. He was playing some Fortnite and just chilling, doing his thing. He's rocking that 96K, 100K, doing it big as always. There's nothing much else to say. I mean, I don't think that there was a subscribe button. He's just taking like donations, and I'll check in and see if he's, if he can subscribe or whatever. But I mean, the man's made of money right now. He's fine. He just
made of money. He's pretty rich.
Hey, big bro, you are made of money. Just pass it, trickle it down to the other ninjas. The rest of the village, we're hungry. We need some money.
Ninja own a guy.
And then of course, Doster Dick Disrespect.
Sorry, what did you just say? Are you having a stroke right now?
Dr. Disrespect. There we go.
Yeah.
Dr. Disrespect.
He did a YouTube stream, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So he did his YouTube stream last week as well. And he had a lot of people watching that. I mean, if you just go watch the video on demand, it's got 2 million views. And the video itself, when it was live, had over 500,000 people watching. I even just peeked in for a little bit before it started, and there's just so many people in the chat like, oh, can't wait. And I'm like, dang, Doc, how you doing?
What you up to, Doc? What's your deal?
And then the first thing he said actually on the stream, when the stream started, was he's like, hey guys, you guys want to know about this whole this Twitch ban?
He knows that people want to know. Yeah.
And he was like, I want you to look me in the eye when I tell you this. And he looks into the camera, and then he just turns around, because Doc has those glasses on. He turns around, takes the glasses, he flicks the glasses off, flings them off, turns back around, the glasses are still on. I'm like, what the?
What? Really? That's hilarious.
And he's like, I don't know anything. Just like,
yeah.
So apparently he's still in the dark. There's still, kind of a mysterious little thing going on with Twitch and Dr. Disrespect. No one knows. One day, after all the legal processing terms have happened and life is back to normal for him, I guess, for everyone. I don't know. We'll all find out. Maybe. But it's crazy. So 2 big streamers are back streaming, doing their little thing, enjoying, making us laugh. And finally, like we said at the beginning of the show, Yoshinori Ono, who was the Street Fighter producer, is leaving Capcom. That he reported today on August 10th on his Twitter, and he's basically been doing, I think for the last year or two, the Capcom Pro Tour. That's pretty much been his arena, and kind of anything, essentially esports coordinator. We'll just call him esports coordinator, which is a demotion, I guess, when you were running Street Fighter, the franchise itself, looking over it and seeing, producing that. But this year, the Pro Tour is going to be all online only. Of course, with COVID, you can't really do much. But, I don't know what he's going to be doing after Capcom. That's going to be what's pretty curious, if he's going to go join another company, still work on fighting games, or start his own thing, Kickstarter. We've seen it in the past with Inafune. I can't remember his first name anymore, but Inafune-san, of course, with Mighty Number 9. Igarashi with Bloodstained. Good. Hopefully, if he wants to start something, he's either on the trend for bad or good. There's only two.
I mean, Bloodstained was good. I liked it. I backed it, actually.
Yeah. I think Bloodstained is still maybe one of the best kind of successes at a Kickstarter from a Japanese developer going kind of independent. Well, Japanese founding father kind of thing. Can we call them founding fathers?
Sure.
Well, so we'll, wish him the best of luck on his journey. And man, if you don't know him, look him up for sure. He's worked on Mega Man, Dead Rising, Devil May Cry series, Street Fighter 4. Just give that man a Shoryuken. Always making some hype announcements for us, and trying to, really one of the first times that someone at EVO from the Japanese side really, would come on stage and bring some hype and flair. Now that's Harada-san from Bandai Namco. Yeah. Trolling people. But, Ono, we got a pour 40 for you. Yeah, I mean, you're not dead, but you're not dark.
Did he say why he was leaving or no?
Let me see. I read the whole statement, but in a statement
I read the one on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
I read that as well, but
it doesn't say why.
Say anything. Yeah, so I'm just curious if it's come out somewhere why he's leaving, if he's going to a new studio or he's retiring or whatever.
Right, because he's been with Capcom 30 years. Or over, about 30 years. And the statement online, like you said, it doesn't say anything other than, he talks about the Pro Tour. He talks about it being online. Maybe that's not it just wasn't the best thing around decision-wise. Man, it's time to go. I don't know. It's very vague as to why he's leaving. Some people I saw on some forums saying maybe because of Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6, of course, may have been released next spring or sometime, but due to internal testing and things, maybe he just hadn't led that too well. And so that kind of messed up plans for Street Fighter 6. And of course, Street Fighter 5 itself wasn't exactly the best game on launch. I think Street Fighter 5 has come a long way. It's still...
Sure, yeah, pretty rocky start, but yeah.
Yeah, it's better than Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Sure, I agree, but yeah.
yeah. So, and that's it. I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out some more soon, because it's a pretty big departure. And that's it. That's all I got for the news. Do you have... Oh, wait. I was going to say, man, next week when you get your PS4 and everything set up, you get that VVVVV tuber.
Oh my God, yeah. I was thinking of getting it today, actually. I was looking at Amazon reviews. Guess how much stars it has out of 5.
Please tell me it has more than a 2.
Guess how much? Well, it does, but yes.
Okay, 3? 3 sounds
2.5.
good. Oh.
So not really good reviews, to be honest. I was looking at the major complaints, and apparently has a bad camera or something.
Oh.
Yeah, and also a lot of people are just taken aback by the fact that it's actually a third-person shooter.
Wait, what?
Yeah, man.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
Every game in the series is a straight-up RPG.
RPG, yeah. The third-person shooter. This is I think that shocked a lot of people because they were like, "I love Neptunia," and then they get this game, and then it's not turn-based anymore. It's a third-person shooter.
Wait, but in the trailers, isn't that trailers or videos? Did you realize it?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, even if you go to the website, if you go to the friggin' website, it says, yeah, well, not holding guns, but I mean, it's so there's 2 battle systems. One is the TPS part of it, and there is kind of a more traditional, I guess, action RPG aspect to it. So it's kind of an RPG. I don't know. It's a weird mixed bag, but Yeah, a lot of people are saying it has weird camera issues. Something about like it just doesn't control very well. So I mean, I'm gonna get it probably still, and I'll let you know how it is.
Should be good.
I had a similar kind of list of complaints with the last one, Super Nintendo RPG. There was like a weird lag on the menu. Is so irritating. So like if you did anything with the menu, there was like a split second before the game would accept a new input from you.
Well, that's weird.
So if you were tabbing through a menu or like just, you know, doing anything in battle, you have to like wait for every single like you have to wait like half a beat before you could move your cursor again. Otherwise it would like get stuck. It was so irritating.
Oh, that is weird. It's one of those things where you figure that they would catch it. No, it's not even like catching it. It's like you built this like this. You move through the menus. This isn't something you have to look for.
Did you not play the game yourself? Like, did you not be like, oh, that's kind of jank. We should fix that. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah,
something else popped into my mind talking about like something this jank. I was going to say that there's these how heavy are your dumbbells figures.
Yeah,
from Fox Japan. If you have those, don't get them. But if you see them,
wait. If you have them, don't get them. If you have them, it's too late. I'm sorry.
It's too late. Like
pour one out for you.
I've never seen figures that lean so much off of like.
It's like a Michael. They should just rebrand it to like a Michael Jackson, like
Smooth Criminal. Like when he's lean, he's doing that lean. It's literally the figures do that lean in like 2 to 3 hours of you having them, and then they just their ankles snap.
And then they break. Yeah, it's so bad.
And you're like, how did you not get this in quality control? Like, this is literally, you make the figure, stand it up for 3 hours, and you will see the lean.
Yeah, it's wild. I know, right? It's wild. Yeah.
Oh, man. But that's going to do it for us this week. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us week in and week out. I gotta say, I've been looking over the kind of Anchor statistics, and it's always amazing to see new countries added. I know that, of course, you know, G and his bringing the Indonesian fans over here. Thank you so much for championing
you guys
the
are
show.
The best. You guys are the best. You definitely leave like a voice message or even just a little tweet. Let us know where you're listening to our podcast.
Yeah. We've got Hong Kong as well, Italy, which hasn't been up there. So Italy, Hong Kong, and Indonesia, those are the new countries for this week. And it's crazy. But yeah, let us know where you're listening to us at. Give us a shout out on Twitter at UGP_cast. You can also do the same thing on Instagram at UGP_cast. Or, you know, leave a voicemail on our Anchor page. And you can find that at anchor.fm/UGPcast. I should make that link somewhere else, actually. Maybe,
what do you mean?
Maybe just have it on the Twitter page. Just like find us, leave a voicemail here. It's always there. Leave a voicemail.
Yeah. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. You're gonna have to edit that out.
Dang. I'll just leave it in. It's all good. It's realism.
Okay.
Realism. People want to know that we're real.
Yeah.
By more than our voices. So I think that's gonna do it for us this week. Alex, do you have any closing words?
I don't know. I guess like don't move ever.
Just stay where you are.
Yeah.
Stop your life right there. If you think it's time to move on, stop. Oh man. Well, I've been binging ER. Actually, I stopped myself from watching ER. So if you ever have a TV recommendation, just watch ER. I'm going to take us out as always with You Set the Tone, which comes from ER. And go play some games. Enjoy your life. Stay cool on the inside, or stay hot if you're on the other side of the world and you're not cold. And Fall Guys. Go check it out. Let us know what you think about it. And we'll see you next week for episode number 46 of the Unknown Games Podcast.
Sounds good.
Peace.
All right, peace. Hey, Adrian, never thought about making a podcast?
All the time, except for we are already making a podcast.
No, but I mean like a different one, maybe a better one.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was on the internet. I was trying to figure out like what's the best host for a podcast, or pretty much how can I make a podcast? And I think I settled on Anchor.
We're already using Anchor, buddy.
Wait, are you serious? Are we actually?
I'm actually serious because it's free. And of course, we're on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and like Google Podcasts, and so many other places.
Wait, how do we do that though?
Anchor did that for us.
Oh, just like automatically, right? Anchor will just distribute your podcast for like free?
Exactly. Wait, I thought you did the research.
Yeah, well, I kind of did, but I do know that Anchor will help you make money from podcasts. Cash money.
Cash money grabs. Exactly. That's how we're making money right now, I think.
Absolutely. Like right at this very moment.
At this very moment with this sponsorship.
Well, I mean, also Anchor has some pretty cool creation tools that let you record and also edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer, because I know you got one of those, probably.
I do have a computer, but I don't have a phone.
Well, whatever. You can still make a podcast, because in 2020, there's no reason why anyone shouldn't have a podcast.
Everyone deserves a voice. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Anchor is just everything you need to make a podcast, but just all in one place. You can download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Enjoy the show, everyone. Thanks for listening.